I will just take him online.
How do you do weddings in India, Shrey? Hey.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Good evening. I am so excited to speak with you.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
We're celebrating. Today is our 100th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so you just made $25 million also of content.
We spent $25 million.
We spent $25 million. So the wedding industry is probably very similar to the media industry. It cost us $1,000 a minute to film on a normal TV show, right? So if we went to the set, to the studio, and we filmed with 3 cameras, the crew, the engineers, the content, and then we had to go to air with it. But if we filmed for the day, it would cost us $1,000 a minute.
Oh, really? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for a lot of videos that get edited and stuff like that.
And to add on that, we are talking about global presence, and it's a. So say you know about www. Can you elaborate? What is www?
World Wide Web.
And what is WWT?
Worldwide Television.
That is IBM TV.
Yeah, and welcome to WWT.
So we are broadcasting on more than 100 countries.
You guys will have to excuse me for a second. I'm getting a message that my lighting, my face lighting isn't that good. Let me just switch on a couple of more.
Okay, that's great. We'll take our time.
I dim my lights before I come on.
Yeah, I've got. So what's weird is I have several different AirKit backup computers, but none of them work with the same lighting. So I have 3 different sets of lighting depending on what computer I have to use that day, because my computers all burn up. Like I overwork them and they start to burn up, so I have to switch. And one of them's a new computer; it's only a year old. And it burns up the fastest. It's the Apple. Hello, Apple. It's my, I like it. It's not my favorite to use. To me, it's not user friendly. Ankit's had to teach me how to use it. But my other one, the lighting system is horrific on it. Like if I use the same lighting that I use for the Apple, I look like I'm in a dark space. And you would think they would be this similar cameras, but they're not. So where am I echoing? So where am I echoing?
Yes, you are echoing here. Somewhere.
Yes, I am somewhere. So one of the things I'm excited about a wedding is I know the effort that goes into planning a wedding. It is very similar to planning a TV show, right? And weddings can cost a lot of money. If you've ever had to pay for one, you would know what I'm talking about. Sasha, have you paid for a wedding?
Yes, I did. Yes.
It's a lot of work, isn't it? It's a lot of work.
I couldn't find anybody else who would do that, so I decided I have to do it myself. And back in 1996, this was about $80,000. So today it probably would be substantially more amount, but no regrets.
But it's a lot of work in planning. Shrey, welcome again.
Yes, my wife is working on.
There is a green dot on your screen, which is kind of blocking.
That's my camera's light, and it's right on my face.
There you go. Perfect. There you go.
Better now?
Yeah, it's fine. Now it's fine.
Interesting. All of this technology, right? We have to go through. But, you do something that I think is fabulous. And I know it costs a lot of money because of all the elements that are involved in planning a wedding. But in India, you guys have the coolest weddings. I don't care. I know we got cool weddings.
I'll second that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a celebration I want to partake in one day. I told Ankit, if we have to make a fake wedding and just come and film it, I'm in.
Now technically you don't have to do that. Let things get back to a little normal, no? We'll invite you for a wedding, and the scalability that we are into, it's probably the largest weddings we do in the country.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. So thank you so much. Yeah, I would love to attend one because there's just so much to it. Like to me, it's just like a piece of art, right? And
That's right.
every wedding planned here is like a piece of art, but there's just so many colors, music, celebrations. I've heard about so many weddings in India that it just it's beautiful. So explain to us what you do as a wedding planner. I guess is that what you're called, a wedding planner?
Yeah, we call it a wedding planner. That's right.
Okay.
So I'll just quickly take you through my company. We are called Touchwood Group, and sorry, yeah.
Continue.
So we're called Touchwood Group. We've been in the trade for almost 22 years now, and so we call ourselves 22-year young, rather, and. We've seen it all, you know, from smallest of the events to biggest of the events. I remember the first event that I did was probably 11 years back, the first wedding that I did, and since then it's been a great ride. And you know, it's not only weddings that we do a lot of other things also. We are a part of political activations in the country. We do a lot of on-ground, you know, support and marketing plans for a lot of corporates also. But again, our core business comes from the weddings that we do. That's a quick introduction about us. And apart from that, the Indian wedding size, I mean, if I tell you first, it's a huge industry today. It's almost a $2 billion industry in India, and you know, we call ourselves wedding planners, and Indian weddings are full of traditions. You know, there's a lot of emotions, there are a lot of traditions that are part of it, and to execute it, you need to become a part of the family. It's not like a very professional structure, but it's more like a professional come personal touch you give to the entire thing, and you know, you become a part of their family while you're doing things. So it's a very closed affair when you you know, when you turn around a wedding in a family. Also, the gestation period of a wedding is almost 6 to 8 months, can go up to 1 year also, depending on the size of the wedding and depending on the details that you get into for a wedding.
Wow.
So
insane.
yeah, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
No,
and then
Wonderful. And Shrey, you have mentioned about a lot of things, but viewers and especially Kim and our team would like to know the number, because they believe in mathematics and numbers.
Numbers.
So what are the general expected capacity for a good big fat wedding? How many days it will go through? How many functions? How many dresses? How many different kinds of foods and cuisine, and especially the budget?
Let me give you interesting ones then. Okay, so let's go about a year back. Let's talk about a wedding, the kind of weddings that we used to do about a year back or probably 6 months back. Things are different now, though. Yeah. So about 6 months back, generally a query comes like, you know, so we generally get a call from one of the families, either the bride side or the groom side. Technically, it's more like the bride side is calling us. So we get a call from the bride side. They tell us that, you know, there are about 500 people and they want to do a destination wedding somewhere in India, or probably we can take them abroad also. So that's when our team gets into the entire zone. We start pitching them ideas. We start working towards it. We ask them what sort of budgets do they, you know, do they want to get into? What sort of figures are they looking at, you know, to do the entire wedding? And trust me, Indians don't tell anything in one go. You need to dig them again and again to really get a figure. But it's always like we're always pitching things on the higher end so that they at least take the things at the lower end. And then that's how the back and forth keeps on happening. But yeah, not everyone's like that. But yeah, most of the families that we're dealing with are pretty much on those lines. Then, you know, so a 500 people wedding somewhere in India. If you guys have been to India, I'm sure you must have gone to Jaipur. So Jaipur is a very, very hot destination in India. It's a beautiful place, a lot of palatial properties, a lot of heritage connected to it, a lot of soul and vibe is there. So there are beautiful hotels there. So one or two hotels we work very, very closely with is a Fairmont or probably a JW Marriott, right? So we buy out the property. Generally, a buyout ranges from anywhere between $1 crore to $1.5 crore. If I convert this into dollars, then we're roughly talking about
around Close to 1 million.
Yeah, close to $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little over $1 million actually.
Over 1 million.
You know, yeah. 1.5 million around.
Wow.
So yeah, that's
And that
only
is
for the
only-
hotel. That's only for the,
Yeah.
that's only for the hotel.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, you know, Aunt Kit, is Amishi listening? You got to start saving early, right?
Yeah. I think we have good dividend from IBM TV by that time, so we can have.
Now she's going to own IBM TV by that time, little Miss Ambassador.
Watch Sasha's show.
Right. So let's let's talk about this.
I think Ankit, we've messed up with the figure. $1 billion is a little more than what what we're trying to tell them. No, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. So what I did is I did the logistics and the airfare as well, because 1 million is close to around 7 CR.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
no, that's not right. Yeah, that we've goofed up in the figure there.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's almost it's around I'd say 150K.
150K. Okay, but
Yeah.
that's what the big weddings here. Some of them average around a lot of the parents, you know, always say, you know, can we keep it around 20,000, 30,000?
Yeah.
Which is still a lot of money. I mean, that's a deposit on a home.
No, but again, that is only for the hotel. That is only for the hotel.
That's just a hotel.
That's just like that. Indian mentality is a little different. I'll tell you, Indian, you know, a traditional working class family in India is earning for primarily 3 things in life. One is to get the daughter son married. Second is to get a beautiful house. Third is to make sure that their basics are always intact and are in place. So these are primary things that they're actually working towards. So a wedding in the family is like a celebration. It's a festival.
Yes.
And if it's not celebrated that way, you know, you get a lot of there's a lot of bad words coming from the close family members that why didn't you do it?
Oh wow, it's like the Greeks.
Yeah, so a lot of
They're the same way, right?
It's
I
not
love
unique
the
to
Greek
India.
weddings.
And Kim, I think Shrey shared it in a very polite way, but the problem or the happening is that we eat a lot of food at weddings in India. I mean, generally we attend on an average maybe around 50 weddings a year. Shrey may be attending more than 300 weddings a year. So if you are going to a wedding, you have to invite those people to our wedding as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, you gotta invite everybody, right? You can't leave anybody out. I mean, that.
Yeah. So you know, we've done weddings where the guest list has been around 15,000 people also.
Wow.
So you know, an average wedding in sorry, what?
Like
Shrey, I just wanted to interrupt in between. So we are getting a message from one of the big parties in some country where there are elections coming up, and they wanted to host a political campaign during the wedding.
They need to get 15,000 people together somehow.
We tell them we can work around something for sure.
That's pretty smart.
Courtesy IBM TV.
There you go. That's pretty smart. We're going to hold a wedding and do a campaign. There you go. I like that idea. I'll tell you, a lot of people don't realize that your culture plays a huge element in how weddings are done. And it's very important to the girl, but it's also very important to the guy. I mean, a lot of people, they think the guy doesn't always play the big role in it, but it is. It is very, very big to the men as well. I've seen men who, you know, where the wife, maybe it's their second, maybe this doesn't happen in India, but in the U.S. a lot.
No.
But it's a second wedding, and they want a big wedding, you know?
Yeah. So it's very different in India also now. It's as pure, as pious, as connected to a man also. And they take equal interest, and to make it you know, evident, we actually dig in pretty hard to make sure that they're also taking in a lot of interest.
Yeah, good. No, they should, because there's a lot to it than just showing up, you know, with your buddies and go, okay, we're having a big wedding. And I mean, again, that's why I want to experience one in India. I mean, because I've experienced so many different ones here. I will tell you my favorite wedding of all time. I learned the difference between cost, right? And my favorite wedding of all time. Now, I've been to Duke weddings, you know, at the Duke chapels, and I've been weddings on the ranch, okay, where thousands of people show up and margarita machines plugged into the tree. Okay, I've seen a lot, but my favorite wedding was somebody I didn't even know, and I was asked to be a witness, and it was at the courthouse.
Wow.
It cost them $20 to get married. $20. Okay. Two people who were madly in love with each other, who didn't get to, you know, they knew each other in many, many years, but bumped into each other later in life, decided after a year, let's get married, let's make this real. And I was there in court for something else, to help a victim of domestic violence. And I was sitting and waiting our turn. And she was sitting there and she goes, "You look like the only normal person here. Would you come be our witness?" We forgot our witness. I look like the normal person. Yeah. You know, I was the crazy one. But I went into the courtroom, and in the courtroom there were, you know, people clearing bad checks and people trying to get out of jail that have been there too long that shouldn't have been. And then the people get married, right? So when we get there, the judge says, you know, how many people are here to get married? And of course, you know, the people hands are raised. How many people are here to be witnesses? You know, I raise my hand. And then he gets into, you know, talking about, okay, does everyone have their $20? And so everybody's putting up their $20 to get married. And he goes, "Are there any questions?" And man, my hand went up really fast. And I go, "You guys have got a racket here." He goes, "What do you mean?" And I go, "It's only $20 to get married here. God love you. I think it's beautiful. We're marrying 20. But the hall across the hall there where people get divorced is $20,000. Wow. And I just got to know, did y'all plan it this way? And immediately, you know, of course, they're sitting there going, "We got the crazy woman." But
Kimberly,
it was beautiful. I cried.
I attended a civil ceremony in France, because that actually more of the French weddings are civil ceremonies, and it was beautiful as well. And it was cheap. You know, I can't do the translations into francs, but it wasn't that expensive a show. But everybody was showing up there, and they were all so happy, and the happiness radiated.
That's why I cried.
Yeah.
I mean,
you won't believe. I mean, that we have so much of drama in our Indian weddings as well.
Yeah. Indian weddings are a lot of drama.
No drama. There was absolutely no. My hair's not right. My flowers are messed up. The bees are in the flowers. Yeah, none of that. Absolutely.
It's not about hairs only.
We feel extremely weird if an Indian wedding happens without drama. We think that we've done something wrong. There's no drama.
But you know what? It adds to the story, right? Because 20 years later, they're still going to be talking about that one incident. And that's what I told somebody one time who was having a little bit of an issue getting married. "Well, that's it. I'm done. We're not getting married." And I go, whoa, that's not why you don't get married. This is why you get married. And at the end of the day, you're going to talk about this 20 years from now, right? The reason that you're getting married is up there at the altar. It's not what happened back here. And
Shrey, we've got it backwards in the United States, because we don't have any divorces without drama.
I think, you know, past few years, the divorce drama has actually increased in our country also.
Really?
It wasn't like that earlier, but I think now I know that out of, say, about 50 weddings or 30 weddings that I would have done in last 3 years, 5-7 of them have gotten divorced.
Really?
So say a quick question, the people who get divorced, would they come back to you and say that return the money?
Yes, we've had those clients also. We've had those clients also.
He has a no refund clause.
But there's no refund. There's definitely no refund. We tell them that the next one is going to be cost effective. That's
Cost effective. No guarantees, or no refunds, right? No deposit, full deposit, no refund.
And I just got a message from South Africa, and he said that I'm still at 200,000. What about the other cost?
Oh, okay, all right. That person's still waiting. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So we booked the hotel at say about 150 to 175K.
Wow.
Followed by now I think general weddings are you go to a hotel, you get a designer on board who does your decor and everything, and the food and everything is taken care by the hotel. So that's not how Indian weddings work. You have additions. So I will call a specialist of X food from X part of the country. Then next function there'll be another specialist coming from another part of the country. And we'll create small lounges where so if it's a 3-night wedding, so 3 night 4 days, 400 500 people are there. We create small lounges for elders, we create small lounges for youngsters. There is alcohol for youngsters in the lounges. There is tea, coffee, cookies, and quick bites for elders. And apart from that, at least I would say per person, about 7 outfits per person is what we're looking at in a typical wedding. Wow. And for the bride and groom, it's roughly about 10 outfits. And same pretty much goes for the family. And we're talking about on probably the main evenings. So that's probably the second evening and the third evening. Second evening is called the Sangeet night. So the dinner menu ranges from anywhere between about 100 dishes to about 150 dishes. And the wedding day, it's more like 200 to 250 dishes. And there are other food additions also. So yeah, it's a massive affair. It's maddening. And then we're spending almost about $30,000 to $40,000 on entertainment. So every function has.
Is that live music? Is that
so it's a mix and match of live music, interactive activities, DJs, sound systems, everything. So it's a mix and match of everything. And followed by I'm also talking about after parties here.
Yeah.
So they're essential. They're essential, Jim. You can't do without after parties. Yeah.
Gotta have that.
So so every function, the entertainment is tailor-made. You get into the detail, you understand the theme, the vibe of the function, you suggest entertainment accordingly. Decor generally ranges from another $30,000 to about $40,000, depending on what sort of taste do they have. Not like you can't do a cheaper one, you can do a $10,000 decor also. But I'm talking about the kind of weddings that we generally enroll ourselves into. Apart from that, so the amount of customizations and bespoke features are insane. Everything can be customized. From customized uniforms of the people who are attending the guests, to customized collaterals in each rooms, to customized collaterals on tables for everybody. Personalized room kits, personalized hampers. There's a lot of detailing that gets into it. Wow. And then a lot of logistic support, a lot of there's a hospitality team of roughly 30-40 people additional that we hire to make sure that everyone gets personal attention.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's a production.
Yes.
It's a production. It's a full-fledged production.
I mean, and you got to keep track and make sure nobody's feelings get hurt. You didn't forget somebody. Yeah. I mean,
that's the biggest hue and cry. That's the biggest hue and cry.
Yes, that's the drama.
That's the drama. Yeah.
That is because somebody's always forgotten.
And how many cameras do you require to cover these weddings?
So on an average, I'll tell you the camera person, I'll just break it down for you. To execute a wedding of about 400 to 500 people, a 3-night affair, we require, say, about 3 to 4 traditional photographers, say about 4 candid photographers, 3 to 4 cinematographers, 2 people on Zoom. Yeah, not Zoom actually, drone and Zoom now. Like I'm saying Zoom because now we've got into Zoom now.
Yeah.
So 2 people on drone and Zoom. And then we also have personalized features like personalized interviews. So we have a separate team who takes care of that. So roughly a team of about 12 to 15 people is required to cover one wedding.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Nick, are you listening to this? This is insane. Oh my gosh.
Well, I will tell you, I hope Sasha will back me up on this, but the entertainment costs at chess weddings is less expensive.
Chess weddings. I like this. But okay, so that, I mean, 12 people. Francisco, do you hear that? Francisco is my favorite videographer in San Diego. That's insane.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of content. So did somebody pull it all together?
And Kim, to add on that, we have a post-wedding, pre-wedding shoots and all those things that I think.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you the kind of things that we do, the crazy things that you might find bizarre at your end. So we definitely do pre-wedding shoots. We, where we do a small video of theirs, however they want. Then one crazy thing that we do is on the wedding day, we do a same-day edit. So we show everyone things that have happened in last 2 days. It's all edited, complete, filed on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow, that's a TV production. That's a TV network production.
So there is a full-fledged back-end production that's always happening. And, one more crazy thing that we, now it's old for us, but probably new for someone in the world, probably. That is, so we also do newspapers or probably news lines, so things that have happened in last 2-3 days, we put it all together in form of a newsletter or newspaper, and we give it to people so that while they go back to their home, they can watch everything and they can just reminisce it through, read it through, and just cherish the memories of last 2-3 days.
Wow. That's I don't know anybody who does that in the United States. So, and a crew like that, like, can we get an average of what that would cost? Just an idea. It's in multiple brackets, depending on the caliber that a person plus the brand that they've created for themselves. Starts from roughly it's about $8,000 can go up to $25,000-$30,000. Wow. Yeah, that sounds.
And Kim, and we can invite all the Bollywood celebrities to our wedding if you have that.
Yeah, we've done that. We've probably invited all, and we've had some crazy experiences with them also. It's not only about inviting them; it's also about taking their tantrums, making sure that things are in place, last moment glitches, stuck in traffic. We've had incidents where we've got stuck in traffic. The MCs announced the name. Everyone's waiting for us on the stage, and literally the top Bollywood actors have to get on the streets, run to the venue, and everyone's watching them running on the streets.
Oh my gosh! Now they can just dial in on Zoom, and you have a big screen up there, right? So now you have a big screen on stage.
Now, yeah.
They're stuck in traffic, so here they are now. But you know what? Now I know where Bollywood came from. The wedding. Okay, you can have a movie out of every wedding that you just did.
Sure. There is so much drama. There is so much humor. There's so much drama, and you can actually. So I'll tell you where does the drama essentially comes from. It comes from the core family members.
Right.
It comes from brother-in-laws. It comes from sister-in-laws. It comes from elder brothers. It comes from younger sisters. They can throw a fit at any point in time. They don't need reasons. They can just do it.
Oh my gosh! So you know what? We could have a movie channel of just all the Indian movies ever made.
We already have one.
We could have a channel specifically, and we could start today and probably have 25,000 movies in a year.
You could call it Survivor.
But Tim, I'll tell you. Our Indian Bollywood movies, every third movie is about wedding.
I get it.
Or has a tension of wedding.
Yeah, something like
but I think that's what we had to do is we could just air every wedding. And you know, one of my favorite movies is My Big Fat Greek Wedding, right?
Yeah.
It is
My
by
Big
far
Fat Indian Wedding. Yeah.
My Big Fat Idiot. But we could just do consistent movies from India because you guys have the full production crew there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And you post produce it. I mean, gosh, what a business that is. So, how did you get into the wedding business?
Funny story, but truth be told, when I was in school, so I started working right out of school.
Okay.
So when I was in school, I wanted to be a DJ. So I thought, the best way to test waters is to become a person who hires DJs, so that I understand that whether this association even makes sense for me or not, and even if I can earn the kind of money that I want to earn or not. And then that's where it started. I did my first event in 2008. And I realized that, this is a lot of fun. There's a lot of hard work. That's definitely a part of it. But then it's a lot of fun too. Couldn't be a DJ, but in 6 months, I realized it's better to be an event planner. And a few years later, I realized wedding planning is one non-recession, a recession-free business in the country. And it's a form of art. If you master the art, if it's a craft. If the more you work towards it, the better the craft becomes.
And the more people come to rely on you. Do you have a website?
Yeah. Our website's called touchwood.in.
Ankit, can you pull it up? Do you have?
I can't pull because of my.
Can you text me? Can you text me the website so I spell it?
And I'll tell you one more very interesting fact about our company. In 2017, we became the first company to get listed on the stock exchange, and we're the only listed company in the country.
Wow!
Listed in terms of wedding industry.
Yeah. In the entire event space, there is no other company which is listed in the entire space.
Did you hear that, Sasha?
Yeah.
Yep. Very interesting.
Got to do some research.
Yeah. Are you giving a tip to all our panelists to buy shares of Touchwood?
Let's take a look.
I don't believe in that.
Okay.
Is this a chat bot?
Yeah. So this is not a chatbot. This, I think someone's pulled it off. So this is a new initiative that we started recently. It's called the school. So we started our own school, event management school. It's called Touchwood Wedding School.
That is awesome.
So you would go to school.
Sorry, what?
Nothing. So I clicked on it, but I'm gonna let it go to the school while I take a look at your site. Now look at this. I mean, this is to me a movie production, and this is
absolutely.
I mean, this is Hollywood to me. This is not the weddings I've seen on video here in the
I was happy with my wedding until I see this.
Well, let's take a look at what it takes to make something of this caliber. Look at this team, folks.
Oh my goodness! Yes,
this is the business, and I'm sure you got more than this.
Yeah. We've got a huge team. Yeah, but that's our founder. That's our founder director. That's the brain behind the company. He's the one why we got listed.
Awesome.
She's the creative head. And that's me, not so creative.
But you're on the top. You're on the top 5 listing, right? You're in the top. You're in the top of the company. Not many people.
Yeah, I'm one of the directors in the company.
Yeah, but many people get their picture on the top page of the company, right?
That's above the fold in the newspaper.
You worked very hard to make that happen. Look at your services. You have wedding management, design and decor, live events, destination weddings, entertainment, political activations. I have a feeling that's like political campaigns and events, corporate events, exhibits. Let's talk about exhibits.
I would like to fill in with another very interesting information. So, we also did the political activation for the president of Gabon. It was surprising for us that he called us all the way from India to Gabon to do his political activations. And we did it for about, 2 sessions of his.
Wow, that is very impressive.
Look at the investors. So, and again, you know, they are very business oriented. This is just not a wedding planner.
Right. Shrey, is this industry recession proof? I mean, everybody's got to get married, but you know.
Yes, that's what we've always learned, and we've always experienced that. This is probably, you know, so COVID's the first time we've actually faced some sort of recession.
Yes.
COVID's the first time we've actually faced any sort of lull also. We've never faced it before.
Interesting. Because it would seem to me just, you know.
That's us.
I see that. Let me get back to that. I don't know how it changed on me, but check this out. How beautiful. How beautiful. Wow.
The amount of awards we've won, we have a separate room in our office which is only dedicated to awards that we've won.
Oh, my goodness. That's better than my trophy room.
Okay, I'm jealous.
Me too. I don't have that many chess trophies, Kimberly.
This takes a lot of work, but it also means that you show up to everything there is to accept an award. You just don't sit there and wait for people to come give you awards. You have to be out there, and you know,
it's a very dynamic company. We're a group of very dynamic people, very outgoing, very dynamic, and all of us are extremely hardworking. Yes. I mean, I think even during the days of lockdown, we all have been working for about 10 hours to 12 hours a day.
Good for you. Good for you. And do you get overcommitted? Like, do you take on
all the time?
Yeah. I would say that would be the number one danger, red flag for me, thinking about doing this, is that once you're successful, everybody wants you, and you can't spread yourself too thin. So how do you manage that?
So now, you know, so that's how we don't take a lot of projects in one time. We make sure that, you know, there's no hassle when it comes to servicing a client happens. It has to be a great experience eventually. So we generally do about 30 weddings a year, not more than that. And, you know, to execute that, our team is pretty sorted. And of course, even then, there's a lot of overcommitment that goes into it, because every client, every person we're dealing with is different. Everyone expects in a different manner. And since we consider ourselves amongst the expensive ones, the amount of commitment towards someone comes in a little more handy, you know, because you have to be available almost at all hours.
Right.
So to take something international, like destination weddings, I mean, I can't even fathom the thought of that. That has just got to be insane, that you have to know and understand the international laws of where you're going, making sure people have their passports, their credentials. I mean, does the whole team get involved with doing that?
No. In order to pull off a 400 people international wedding, 7 people together can pull this off. We don't need more than that.
Great.
Sometimes are 5 of them cameramen?
No. That's without all that. 7 people is the core team.
That's just the plan.
Yeah, the planning team. Yeah.
Then you pull together the rest of the people that work for you. I've seen big events like this, one where they host 50,000 to 1 million people, and there's only 4 people that manage the whole thing. That's not all the people that work in it, but it's only 4 people that manage the whole thing. And one of my favorite events, CES, which is 150,000 attendees every year, it's 4 people that manage the whole thing.
So even in a wedding, what you generally see one person as the face.
Right.
You know, one person out of the core team or probably the top management will be there. Yeah, and you'll always see one person as the face.
Right.
Rest, everyone's just working as a back support.
And that's the way it should be. It's called the point of contact in the military bids. You always have that one face that everyone knows, right? And the team behind them. So, so you've been doing this for a long time now, right?
For a decade, yeah.
What kind of scalable model? I mean, you guys have scaled out a lot. What would be the next scalable model for a business like yours, especially if you're traded?
So we've gotten a lot into backward integration of our business. we've so we've started our own. So generally we partner with people for various ancillaries as a part of our industry, right? So now we've ourselves started those ancillaries. So earlier we used to get a decor partner on board. Now we've got our own decor wing. Earlier we used to get a partner who used to suggest us entertainment. Now we have our own entertainment wing. So that's one way how we've tried to gain scalability. And these all these ancillaries also work as separate entities. So they work with us also, and they work on a B2B and a B2C model separately also.
So, like Marriott is a chain, right?
Yeah.
Have you all thought about becoming a chain in other countries?
So of course we want to become a chain, like but essentially what happens, weddings work very differently in every country.
Right.
How it works in India, it's going to be very different in some other part of the country, and it's a very it's a business of a lot of personal touch and emotions for everyone. No matter which country you go to, emotions and personal touch makes a difference everywhere. So as faces, we can't be present everywhere. So what we want to do in other countries, we definitely want to start chain, but of different services. In other countries, we would rather want to become destination management help, or probably something like a back-end support to the business that's in alignment in that country. Things like those is what we want to do. We want to backward integrate ourselves into in other countries. So these are some what you see here is a part of our extended company called Touchwood Exhibition.
It's a fabulous business to be in. To do exhibits like this is a lot of work. I mean, if you are a person who hires people who do exhibits for you, and you're putting together a booth, especially if you do some big booths, exhibit booths, it's a lot of engineering, and everything's got to be able to go up and break down in hours, right? And
And so the turnaround time is very, very short, very, very short.
And so you got to make something look fabulous, sellable, that's only going to be up for a day, sometimes 3 days, sometimes a week, right? Yeah. But all of the energy that goes into something like this, like these big hangers that are there, it's just, this is beautiful. What you do is very, very beautiful. Now, is this again just for exhibits in India, or do you branch out?
If someone, if the cost comes in alignment, we are ready to execute it anywhere in the world. But so far, it's been primarily in India, but we've done a couple of shows in UAE.
Right. It's just so amazing. Maybe we can get you to help us pull together. One day we'll go to CES in our own booth, and you can help us do that, engineer it.
100%.
So, how beautiful is this? I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I know that's a lot of work, but I think it's kind of fun to engineer what looks like, a stage or an office space, or, that sells the company, and it's here and gone in a weekend, right?
Yeah, correct.
It's like virtual reality, but it's reality. It's very tangible. It's very physical. But no, it's amazing. What are some of the things that you said that you when you left school? I take it. Did you go to like a college or a university?
Yeah, I did go to college for 2 years. Indian colleges are generally for 3 years. I did go to college for 2 years. Realized that I can do much better without the college, and then I dropped out.
So I want to tell you a secret I learned, because I got the privilege or the honor to interview some of the world's leading millionaires and billionaires on exclusive interviews. Right. And the secret is a lot of them didn't finish universities either. So they all had that same itch. Oh, I learned enough. And Henny Morales, I love Henny Morales. He was a high school dropout and a law school dropout. So, and he's going to be on our show today, I hope.
And also a sports dropout as well, because he was playing sports before he joined the movies.
Well, that was forced upon him. He got injured, I think. And, but he dropped out of high school because he was too smart for high school, and had other, he got that itch, right? I've learned enough. I need to apply it. And then he went to law school and he got that itch again. He goes, but he learned enough to get him through what he needed to do. And that's the secret, people, is not every, I always say a degree is your key, right? To it's your best intellectual property to get that piece of paper. But so many people, if you just get that knowledge base and you execute it, that's just as important, right? Is taking that knowledge and executing. That's a beautiful story. I love it. I love it. And doing the productions that you're doing, I'm so excited about it. And Kit, we're going to plan a wedding. We're going to go to a wedding. So when this is over. So a question that Jim kind of and everyone played on is, how has the COVID impacted you? Are you recession proof? You've apparently pivoted hard during this time. What are some changes that you're foreseeing for the future?
In fact, there are a lot of changes that we are foreseeing for the future. So I'll just give you an example. What happened today? Things have become a little better here in the sense that there has been some movement in the wedding space, which was a zero movement in last 3 months. Sorry. So now today I saw a movement. I met a client after probably 3 months today. There are a lot of restrictions. We can't do an event which exceeds 50 pack size, and we can't have alcohol in the function. We can't have add-ons in the function. We have to restrict to what the hotels are giving us. We have to restrict in terms of the kind of setups that we can do. So, and I think the same system is going to prevail till the time we don't have a vaccine in place. Because the kind of fear psychosis that's a part of the system at the moment is too tough to decipher and too tough to fathom also. We are very unsure of what lies ahead in terms of numbers or the scalability. But we sure are aware of the fact that if it keeps on going at the same pace and the same scale, then a lot of people might not be able to sustain for more than 6 months.
Right. And I think you're right. I think we need to just take it one step at a time. And because this is what I tell people, and this is one of the conversations we've had, is that we have survived many deadly viruses for thousands of years. We started out with plagues, and we learned to live among them, right? Once we get past the fear, what they are, and understand how to treat them, we learn to move on. And, HIV was no different, right? It's very deadly disease, just like this can be. But once we figured out how to stop the spread, how to treat it, and how to isolate it, just like anything else, we've moved on with life. And I think once we learn to live among this one, we will do the same thing. This is probably the first one that's hit the whole world.
Yeah, for sure.
That it has. And I think this is an awakening for all of us to say, hey, there's more to come. But if we just learn to say, okay, this is how we deal with these types of situations, our fatality rates will be reduced, and we move forward. I'm not going to count on a vaccine. It's too soon. We're rushing for something that we don't need to rush for. What we need to do is be smart and figure it out like we've done all the others, right? Some of the plagues that have existed for thousands of years, how did the people get past it, right? They isolated. They moved people over here until they were past that plague, right? The same with malaria. The minute there's a malaria flare-up, which we still have malaria. We still have it. But they watch it, they isolate it, they contain it, they treat it. All right? So the flu, come on, people. We got vaccines, but not for every flu that exists, right?
That's right. But, I think this one's a little different because, as you rightly said, this is the only one that has struck the world.
Yes, exactly.
This is the first time ever, technically, you connect with anyone across the world. The first question you're asking them, are you doing well? Is everyone in your house safe? I hope everything's fine with you. This has never happened in the past.
No, it hasn't.
Wherever you call anyone in the world, you've never inquired the same question to everyone. Second, right. the kind of fear this has incorporated in public, the kind of fear it has led to, that's the most difficult part to combat with. you know, we can be smart. We can you know, we can isolate ourselves. We can definitely use all the precautions around us. You know, we can be as attentive towards it as possible. We can follow as much cleanliness as possible. But at the end of the day, how can we combat with the mental fear? If today, if someone's inviting me to a function today and I do not know more than 5 people, you know, in that circle, I would not want to go. I would rather want to stay back at home, not be a part of that system.
And it doesn't mean that you have fear of doing and living life. It means that you want to live, right? And you're just using the data and knowledge that you have to sustain that dream that you have. And none of us want to end up catching it and end up with some of the fatal ending stories that have occurred. But you know, leprosy, to me, that always comes to mind, right? What a horrific disease, right? Yeah. One of the first recorded, besides the bubonic plague, right, which was another one. But we never found cures for these. What we found was a means of acceptance, that we know that there's going to be some people that get it. We know how to treat it when they do, and we know how to isolate certain situations. AIDS was the same way. We had a person who was part of the first wave of AIDS many years ago. So, and she's a survivor herself because she accidentally came into contact with it. So we have to first get past the misconceptions and representations of what it is. We have to home in on the data, like the doctors who've been on our show. And then we can get back to, you know,
the normal life.
Some normal that we can feel like
or probably the new normal life.
And I think that we can even get back to some of what we used to have, right? I just think that we just have to understand more. We have to be more aware. What made this so dangerous was the fact that people can be contagious carrying it for 14 days before they have a symptom. That's what made this dangerous. It wasn't the fact that it could kill a lot of people, right? If they have a low compromised immune system. And we're still trying to understand why children are dying from it. But it's the fact that you can be contagious for so long and not know you have. And that, you know, once we curve that ball a little bit and we're able to test to know, you know, maybe like we test for diabetes, you know, then maybe we'll get back to a comfort zone again. But meanwhile, we got to figure out how to do some fun gathering weddings, right?
Yeah, we're definitely on it, and we are leaving no stone. You know, we're going all out. We're making sure that people have fun. We're making sure that no celebration should stop now.
Right. I mean,
one of our viewers would like to know that what kind of wedding gifts you suggest to the bride and grooms.
Oh, yeah, that's a good present. What's a good wedding gift?
So now, at these moments, in these times, you can definitely gift a PPE kit to the bride and the groom. Most handy, most useful. But apart from that, that's on a lighter note, by the way. So
I like that.
Well, it's always useful.
Yeah. On a serious note, I will say that you know, you can always understand what the bride and groom is all about. What do they really like? You know, and if they are fun, then you can actually try to dig in their personal life and then try to you know, connect what they really like and what would they really want at this point in time. Then you can gift them that. You know, we're not technically gift suggestive people for bride and groom. We are more of the gift suggestive people for the people who are attending the wedding.
So what kind of return gift do you suggest for the people who attend the weddings? And what about the wedding cards?
Oh, the invitations. Wow, yeah.
Now, wedding invitations is again a big business in the country. You know, it's huge. It's humongous. You know, we've done cards that cost about $600, $700 also, and we've done say about 200, 300 cards for the invitees. Now, you know what? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think wedding cards now, the trends have changed. A lot of people are sticking to e-invites. soft copies these days, but a lot of people are still into hard invites, and it's generally, the kind of range that you get in India is huge. Starts from roughly $1, can go up to $1,000, whatever you want.
And when we talk about gift, so it starts from a champagne bottle to vodka bottle. Is that
those are the most useful ones, to be honest, because you are sure that they'll be used sometime in their life. Wherein, if we talk about, so the most common gifts that people give these days are edibles. And since everyone's, moving towards a good life and healthy life, so a lot of healthy edibles are being suggested to people. Something that people are, can consume easily.
That's awesome.
And also came to add on that, there is a pass which will allow you to be a part of the wedding, because a lot of gate crashers also comes and joins you. And also there's a separate driver pass and a driver shuffle car as well, sometimes for some guests. So it's more about customization and how you can customize and make them more personalized invite and things like that.
So when you're doing a wedding in India, it's not only the guests who are your guests, it's even their maids and servants and drivers who are also your guests. You need to take care of all of them also.
Wow. Wow. So you know what? That's a lot just for a ticket or a pass. Maybe you need a chip band, right? A band with a chip in it, a microchip.
RFID.
Yeah, RFID. You ever lose any guest at these events? Have you ever lost a guest?
Yeah. So we've lost guests, but that's been in a different way. Like they've got so drunk that they've locked themselves in the loo.
Hangover.
And,
that sounds familiar.
I'll tell you one very funny incident. So there was a checkout of the entire family that was happening. The wedding happened very well. Everything happened extremely well. The family was very happy. They all had their lunch and they were all leaving from the hotel. So, there were 7-8 cars. They were all accommodating themselves in each car, And then they all left, and I was in the hotel because I was closing the bills and everything, right? So I saw the groom there, and it's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "My entire family's here." I was like, "No, they've gone." They're like, "What are you saying?" So he called up his family. He's like, "Where are you guys?" All of them said that they've left. And he's like, "I'm still here, and you've left."
Where's the bride?
So basically, bride was with his sisters. Yeah, so they all accommodated in different cars. So they thought he must be in one of the cars, but he'd gone to the loo.
And he was left behind. Oh my gosh!
And Kim, to add on Shrey's story, what happened is that in India we have weddings, like 3 weddings in one ground. Okay, so I have to attend wedding A, but because I am drunk and I don't know, I went to wedding C. I eat all the food, and then I was looking for people. Because I don't know anyone in wedding C. Then I called them. They said we have to come to wedding A.
I've done that to events before.
And I'll tell you one very interesting fact. How Indian mentality works. So Indian weddings are generally, they happen on auspicious dates. They are set dates and they happen on auspicious days. And some dates are very, very auspicious. So there are dates when 30,000-40,000 weddings happen in one city, in one go. And one person has multiple invitations.
Wow.
So, multiple invitation means multiple gifts also. You have to give something at each and every wedding. So now for a lot of people, the size of the gift totally depends. So in India, gifts are generally cash. You hand over cash to the bride's father or the groom's father. So in every wedding, the kind of experience that you get in terms of food, entertainment and all, the size of the gift totally depends on that. So if the person has a great experience, he's going to give a great gift or a great amount. There have been times when a person hasn't enjoyed and he hasn't even gifted.
Wow.
He just left the wedding.
Well, I'd like to ask Lynn, is this giving you more motivation to get the Family Dollar store into India?
I definitely.
We can get gifts from the Family Dollar store, but
there you go.
I
opportunity.
I will say this: the way I met Henning was I went to the wrong event.
Oh,
So that's how I met Henning. I just happened to get the events confused, right? So
that's karma.
you never know who you're going to meet, right? So,
Yeah, but it sounds like what Shrey
food
was
was
talking.
better with Henning than it was at the other one. So
Oh,
I
was
think
it?
I accidentally went to the wrong event, but the food was better. That's why you're going to find me at the wrong event usually. I did that.
The
That's
food.
That's how I meet the really cool people, though. Like when I was with Nick at the PBS event. So it was a huge convention for public broadcasting stations, right? And so we're there. Well, I found out that the owners had a better breakfast.
So she can get invited to wedding A, but go to wedding C for the food.
Breakfast. I didn't make like I was supposed to be upstairs at the other breakfast or anything. I just put on a suit. Nick goes, "Where are you going?" I'm gonna go have breakfast. But I'm going to have breakfast. So I put on a business suit. And
I think she needs to leave.
oh, she needs to leave. Okay.
Thank you so much.
What a story! I love it.
Love it.
Sorry?
I thank you for sharing your story. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to meet you in person, and we have a big wedding.
Yeah.
Same here. Totally.
So
Thank you. And we would like to host you again, and we would like to have a wedding show going on IBM TV. So if